even if I don't like somebody and it's a certain person I don't like, and I don't like to ever defend what he's talking about because I just don't like him.
Hmm.
And right now he's in a controversy with Tony Pizza. And
Hmm.
a lot of people on here that come to this show don't know who Tony Pizza is. Okay, Tony Pizza is a homeless man that has a show, and he's known for telling a lot of t- uh, big tales.
Yeah, and he was on the. I think where people first had heard about him was on the Bad Vegan show on Netflix. So
He
he
was the
had some
homeless
time.
man on the street
Yeah,
in the Bad Vegan.
yeah, right.
Right. Thank you for that. And so, what I'm going to do is, first of all, um, okay. So, Sammy Gravano came out and said that he's changed his stories again. He said that he knows Tony Pizza, that he was in prison with Tony Pizza, and that
Right.
Tony Pizza beat somebody up in prison, and he's a tough guy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play what Tony what he said. It's a 1 minute video, real quick. Let me take this down, and then we'll get into this. We'll get into the story. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, people, I'm going to play this right here. And I want you to hear this. Okay, here we go.
Tony Pizza, aka Anthony Carano, says he was a mafia enforcer under you and Gotti. Can you please tell people the truth and that he was not? He's the homeless guy you met.
He was homeless, but he did have a little bit of a reputation. He was with a guy who was a made guy, Tony Pep, from what I understand. He was a little bit of a tough guy. I have bumped into him in prison. We didn't talk too much. He had a beef with somebody, gave the guy a tremendous beating. It came to my attention through people, and they wanted to hurt him, and I had said, no, if he's with Tony Pep, leave him the fuck alone. So I knew him a little bit like that. And when I found out he was homeless and I found out it was almost his birthday, I told him, give me an address. I want to send you a birthday card. He gave me an address. I gave him a couple of hundred. And then he opened up.
Tony Pizza.
You're on mute.
What did you think about that statement that he made that he knows Tony Pizza?
Well, I mean, when you look at, he's been asked this a couple of different times, and so the story continues to change. And so, you know, for for me, we need, we're going, if we didn't bring this up, then we would be frauds ourselves because we have been attacking the lies that Sammy Gravano has said, and so this has nothing to do so much with Tony Pizza or anybody else. It's just again a story that's not true, and unfortunately, there's 500. He's got what 500,000 subs, and so now he's making the reputation for a guy that that never happened.
A guy that's on here attacking people viciously,
Right.
saying horrible stuff. He said horrible stuff about my brother. And everyone's. I kind of joke around sometimes with Tony, and I'll put a video up and I'll kid around. But then, when you think that this is Sammy Gravano, out of everybody, this is Sammy Gravano, the number 2 guy on here. Michael Francis, Sammy Gravano. Sammy Gravano did this once before. He shouted out a guy, Jimmy Calandra, on his show. It was obvious during that show he did not know Jimmy Calandra.
Right.
The difference between Jimmy Calandra, though, and the difference between Tony Pizza is Jimmy Calandra actually was with the Bath Avenue Boys, and people did know him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and he also did something similar. When he got out of prison, he was talking with John A. Light, and so he said that he would tell. And I think he even admitted that I'll prop up John A. Light a little bit, tell him he was this tough guy, and I knew him and everything, and it wasn't true that they knew each other, and then I mean, he obviously was tough. He was a enforcer type that
right.
hit people with baseball bats, but it was embellished, is what
Yes,
I'm
and then
saying.
they
And he didn't know.
and then when Sammy decided to flip on it and take it back, John A.
Mhm.
Light turned on him, and now they're in some type of feud. Once again, John A. Light, Sammy Gravano. Sammy Gravano was the underboss of the Gambino family. I don't understand why he gets caught up with these people. But, I got another piece of evidence that's going to prove that Sammy Gravano had no idea who Tony Pizza was.
Right.
And I'm going to put up that evidence, people, because it needs to be put up. And
Yeah, we need history to be correct. That's what we're trying to do.
and you got somebody out here claiming, listen, there's a lot of things that Tony Pizza hides about himself. Did he know Tony Pep? Tony Pizza was in the street. The difference between Jimmy Calandra and Tony Pizza is Tony Pizza was on the street. Jimmy Calandra was in the streets.